Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, make sure you guys do yourself a damn favor and smash that bell notification down below so you get all the videos, all the alerts, all the lives when we go live here on True School Sports. I don't want you to miss anything that comes out, so please do yourself a damn favor and smash that bell notification. Now, heavyweight division, let's talk about the heavyweight division because your main man, your two main men in England, two of your main men in England, Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte, they are the subject of today's video. Dillian Whyte was speaking to the media recently, and he pretty much was voicing his frustrations, and he was voicing just his opinion and his perspective that apparently Anthony Joshua was pretending that he wanted to fight him in 2019. Now, many of you may remember there was that really publicized April 13th date that Eddie Hearn, Anthony Joshua, and Matchroom Boxing had on hold for him to fight. They tried to get Deontay Wilder to fight there. That didn't happen. They tried to get Dillian Whyte to fight there, and that didn't happen. Anthony Joshua reportedly offered him £5 million, and he turned it down because he didn't like the offer, which, again, is his prerogative because it's the fight game, and if he believes in himself and he believes that he can get more money down the line, then it's his prerogative to turn it down. But opportunity don't come around every day to get revenge, to get cold-blooded revenge on your arch nemesis Anthony Joshua, who many of us know fought Dillian Whyte for the British title in 2015, and Dillian Whyte got folded up like a blue steel chair, like Chris Jericho, like The Rock used to do back in the day on Friday Night SmackDown, back on UPN. Shout out to UPN. If you know, you know. Now listen, here's what he said. Let's quote what he said verbatim, and then we'll break down from there. He said, I quote, Dillian Whyte, "No point in pretending you want the fight, pretending you're trying to make it. No, if you want the fight is there. I'll fight anyone, anytime, anywhere. If he wants it, he can get it. By the time the fight comes, I'll be flying." And that was pretty much it for Dillian Whyte. So he's just letting Anthony Joshua know that the fight can be there. But listen, the fact of the matter is, and I hate to say this, and I'm very interested to see the comments of this video because Anthony Joshua fans and Dillian Whyte fans are normally the same people. So I'm interested to see who sides with who. But the reality is for Dillian Whyte is that there's bigger fights than him for Anthony Joshua in the heavyweight division. There's Tyson Fury, there's Deontay Wilder. I think the Deontay Wilder fight is still a massive fight. In general, and it's still a great fight in general. It's probably on the same level of Dillian Whyte now because of the fact that he doesn't have a title anymore and it's not for undisputed, but it's still a big fight. So you got the Fury fight for undisputed. You got any mandatory obligation he might make, he might decide to make, because Whyte doesn't have a title, so he don't got to fight him like he would a Fury if Fury comes knocking on his door for undisputed. So he might be out of luck, And the reality is Dillian Whyte, and I like Dillian Whyte. This guy has fought tough fight after tough fight, and the reality is Anthony Joshua made your ass a £5 million offer, and you didn't want no smoke. You caught Chris Eubank Jr. syndrome, and you lost your pen. You didn't want to sign the contract and fight him at Wembley Stadium for the unified championship of the world. It was bigger stakes than your first fight, and you turned it down, and that's reality. And if you never get to fight again, it's something that you got to live with for the rest of your life. Now listen, could Eddie Hearn be protecting Anthony Joshua from Dillian Whyte? I think it's possible, because Eddie Hearn, at the end of the day, he loves money more than most people in the world. He a lot of us like money. Eddie Hearn loves money. I mean, and that's a different level. Eddie Hearn, at the end of the day, has to do what he believes is in the best interest of Matchroom Boxing as a whole. And to be honest with you, the best interest of Matchroom Boxing as a whole isn't to put on Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte on right now. The interest of Matchroom Boxing as a whole is to keep both of them winning consistently as possible, so that in the event that they both do go into a rematch, that it will be one of the biggest fights in the history of British boxing. And to their credits, ever since Dillian Whyte lost to Anthony Joshua, he's won his last 11 fights against very solid opposition, and he's putting together one of the best heavyweight resumes we've seen over the last 10 to 15 years. He's supposed to fight Alexander Povetkin May the 2nd. It hasn't been canceled yet, but we're going to find out very soon if it does. So that's just what it is. Dillian Whyte, I think if he fought Anthony Joshua, would be a very, very live dog. I think it's a tough fight for Anthony Joshua. Yes, Anthony Joshua is improving. Yes, Anthony Joshua is getting better. But guess what? So is Dillian Whyte. And Dillian Whyte, you can make the argument, has he even fought better opposition than Anthony Joshua? Dillian Whyte's probably fought better opposition than anybody in the heavyweight division. I mean, the guy has been fighting top 10 contender after top 10 contender after top 10 contender. There's no soft touches on his resume. Unless you want to count like Marius Walker in his last fight. Marius Walker still fought a decent fight. You know, he's a former world title challenger, so I wouldn't call Marius Walker a bum or anything of that magnitude. So listen, I want to see this fight at some point. Is it the number one fight in the heavyweight division I want to see? No, I'd rather see Fury versus Joshua, or White versus Wilder. I think is a great fight just because of the fact that of the animosity they have with each other and the fact that they're the two hardest punchers in the division. This is a fight that I feel, and I'm sure Eddie Hearn. If you talk to Eddie Hearn, if you talk to Frank Smith and the fine folks in Matchroom Boxing, I'm very, very sure. In fact, I'm like 1,000% convicted and sure that if somebody were to ask them and they gave them an honest opinion, that this is a fight that they believe will always be there for them, because Anthony Joshua is the cash cow of British boxing, and he's one of the cash cows of boxing at large. And Dillian Whyte has built up a pretty good name and a pretty good following for himself due to the fact that he's fought so many contenders and improved a lot as a heavyweight. You know, turned doubters like myself into believers. So it'll be a fight that happens at some point. Does it happen in 2020? Absolutely not. Does it happen in 2021? Possibly, if Dillian Whyte doesn't get his title shot, because whoever wins the fight with Wilder, whoever wins the fight with Wilder Fury 3, he's only gonna have a small window to make that fight. And then does Fury make the fight with Dillian Whyte and defend the title as a mandatory obligation, or does he go straight into undisputed, pay the step aside money, and go that route? You know, we just don't know. There's a lot of factors that go into this, but Dillian Whyte, I like you, bro. You're straight tripping. Anthony Joshua offered you £5 million. You could have fought at the Wembley Stadium for the unified heavyweight championship of the world, and just like Luis Ortiz did, just like Adam Kanaki did, just like many people did at that particular time, you balked at the offer, you ducked the offer, and Andy Ruiz took your opportunity and made something out of it. So Andy Ruiz thanks you. We thank you, Dillian Whyte, because that was a great night of boxing on June the 1st when Andy Ruiz shocked the world. He shocked me, shocked everybody. So listen, will you fight Anthony Joshua again? I don't know. I hope you do, but you blew it. And I just wanted to say that. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. You know, I want to see Dillian Whyte fight Anthony Joshua at some point, but it's not like it's not at the top of my list. I'd rather see him fight Deontay Wilder before Anthony Joshua, because I think that's a more entertaining fight. I think the build will be more fun. They got a lot of bad blood, so it makes for a more entertaining fight. We already saw Anthony Joshua knock this guy for the British title, so the fight can happen later on down the road. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. And that's Dania in South Florida if you didn't know. So if you didn't know, freaking go on Google. Former tomato capital of the world. But anyway, take care, guys.